Salutations my friends, and welcome back to another WildStar video. And today we want to talk about the changes to the Rune Crafting system and how you can prepare yourself already to get the best right out of your gear after free-to-play goes live on September the 29th. The most important question will be, where are my runes? They are all gone. Let's see where they are. They are here, or in any other mailbox of your trust. Let's look at it. You will have a bunch of mails when you hit right now the PTR or later on the free-to-play live server after September 29th. And you will get all your crafting materials and all your elemental signs and the exchange for your runes. And this will look something like this. You will see mails here from Phineas to WildStar, Protestar, Rune Extraction. When you open one of these mails, you can see these are the runes from the integrated Scourge Barb, and all the runes from this, I think it was an implant, something like that, get exchanged to rune tokens. And what you can do with these I will show you later on. But you will find an exact ratio of all your runes in rune tokens of different kinds in your mailbox. You see how many there are. Let's take a look at it, what we can do with them. I sorted through all my mails, and this is the outcome. A lot of crafting materials that won't fit into my trade skill bag because it only stacks to 250, and a bunch of rune tokens and exceptional rune tokens. And besides that, this implant was still in the mail, and this, I will cover this in a later video maybe, and a bunch of crafting vouchers. So let's see what we can do with the rune tokens and what is the exchange ratio of what token. Right here in Ilium, you will find these rune exchanges. And at these exchanges, you can exchange your rune tokens to actually runes. You can choose between basic rune exchanger, set rune exchanger, and exceptional rune exchanger. Here you can exchange for one. You can exchange rune crafting tokens for rune crafting bags. Rune crafting tokens you get for the runic elemental flux and the runic elemental module. These are the materials on the current server, on the current live version, to unlock more rune slots on your gear and to change the element of the rune slot. And for the unlock module, you get one rune crafting token in exchange, and for the elemental flux, which is used to change the element on the current version of WildStar, you will get 10 rune crafting tokens in exchange. And these tokens you can see here can be traded for different rune crafting bags, and we have them in different materials. This here is the lowest tier, and these, the divine ones, is the highest tier. This is, you can see the high one is adventures, the superb is dungeon tier, the pure is genetic archives tier, and the divine ones are datascape tier. I will cover that later on. Then you have here the standard runes for the elements that are still in the game. We don't have omni slots any longer, and we don't have the old fusion runes any longer. The fusion runes are now special runes meant for specific pieces of gear like gloves, weapons, legs, chest piece, and so on and so on. At the set rune exchanger, you have access to the new runes to the new set runes that are in the game. For example, the Striker rune set is a damage dealer rune set. You have them at different tiers, beginning in this case with Greater for item level 30 and always ending with Divine for item level 120. One thing you really have to look out for when you exchange your runes at the rune exchanger. You have the rune sets in different quality tiers. As I said earlier for the Striker runes, beginning with Greater Striker runes for level 30 and ending always up with Divine runes for level 120. And these levels vary, the starting levels vary. They always end up at Divine runes, but they not always start at Greater runes. The Striker runes start for Greater, and the Defiance runes, also bad example. The Havoc runes starts at Refined runes for item level 40. So if you go and exchange your runes, be very careful to exchange them for the right quality tier. If you end up buying a bunch of runes for the wrong tier, you will have either maybe Divine runes and you won't be able to equip them because you only wear dungeon gear or genetic archives gear, or you will end up with buying a bunch of Greater runes which are just level 30 and you want to equip them in Datascape gear, and you will lose tons of stats. You can see here the Greater runes have 140 multi-hit rating and the Divine runes have 400. Okay, this is max health, doesn't make sense. Multi-hit, 400 multi-hit. So if you buy the wrong ones, you will either not be able to equip them, or you will end up with a bunch of low-tiered runes you don't have need for. So be very careful to exchange always the right tier you need for your gear. And you can see here you have access to 3 different runes for each tier, and you have up to 6 power set bonus. You can see it down in the tooltip. This can only be achieved, you can see in the tooltip right now, adds 1 power to the Striker rune set. So with 3 of these runes you will only get up to the 3 power bonus, which is in this case 0.40% multi-hit severity. The only way to get even more bonuses unlocked is the Exceptional Rune Exchanger. You have the same set of runes here. Here's again the Striker rune. Stop talking! And here now you got the Exceptional runes. For, in this case again, for item level 120, just for example purposes. And here you have the runes which give you actually 2 power to each rune set. And if you combine 3 of these, you will end up with 6 power and all the bonuses from the set. And the materials for exchange you need in this case is the Exceptional Rune Token. You can see 19 here in my inventory. And in case of the normal set runes, you need rune tokens. You can see 237 here in my inventory. So right now I would have access to 237 normal runes and to 19 exceptional runes. Let's head over to the rune crafting station. You have rune crafting stations in Ilium and all over the world in different places, but for easier access I will use the fab kit on my housing plot. Once you hit the rune crafting station, you see the interface had slightly changed. We no longer have this cluttered list of our equipment with all the runes inside. We now have the tab Create Basic Runes, Create Set Runes and Equip Runes, where you can drop 1 piece of equipment at a time and equip the runes you like. The way set runes work right now is completely different from the way they are working on the current live version of WildStar. You can have multiple sets and set bonuses throughout your gear, and the set bonus only counts per piece of gear. So for example, we take the alleviation set, let's say for level 100, this is a tanking stat, a tanking rune set, and we would build 3 of these runes. All 3 would then go, for example, in 1 piece of gear, and we would end up with the bonuses for that rune set. I will go over to the Rune Crafting, to the exchanger, and trade in a few runes, and then we will try something out. A journey to my housing plot and 1 coffee later, I am back here again with a lot of new runes in my backpack, and we will see what we can do with it. Again, I will choose my my blaster weapon to equip runes in them. I have purchased 1 complete set of alleviation runes, 1 complete set of provoker runes, and 1 complete set of defiant runes. The defiance runes needs earth, water, and air. Then I have water, and air for the provoker rune set, and air, life, and logic for the alleviation rune set. You can see here right now I have air, fire, and 2 times logic. I will start with the alleviation rune set. I will put in a logic rune because I already got the right slot. It goes in here. Excuse me. Then I need life and earth, and I don't have them, so I have to change the element of the slot. We can do this by clicking on the little dice below the element slot. Click on it, and this new window will be opened. And you can re-roll for a random element for money, and the amount of money depends on item level of the gear. The higher the item level, the more money it will cost. Or you can use service tokens. I talked about that in my earlier video, which can be bought in the item shop. You can use service tokens to reroll to a specific slot. In my case, I have 32 service tokens, so I could potentially roll up to 2 slots to the element I want, or I could unlock the additional slot. You can see it is really expensive to unlock an additional slot. 7 platinum and 68 gold. And this will be even higher the higher the item level of the gear is. Or I can use up to 30 slots, 30 service tokens to unlock a specific new element slot. I will go with money for right now. In my case, I don't need fire at all for tanking, so I will reroll this first. I will reroll randomly until I get an element I need, which in this case is already the first try. I have earth for my alleviation, earth rune of armor, and I will put this in here. Boop. Last one is either this element or this element, and in this case I will reroll the second logic slot, and again I will go for random, and again I am lucky. And I will put my pure alleviation rune of health in there. This is all example. It works for all the rune sets exactly the same, no matter if it's tanking, healing, DPSing, engineer, warrior, stalker. It absolutely doesn't matter. So I have 3 exceptional runes equipped. Each runes give me 2 power to the rune set. In this case the alleviation rune set, and you will see here I have the alleviation rune set 6 of 6, all bonuses unlocked. And in your character profile window, you can choose here to either show stats or set bonuses. And here, alleviation, all 6 bonuses are shown. I still got 2 rune slots left. And here I can either equip a special rune, which is always a fusion rune. And for fusion runes, you can choose here the level and the slots they should go in my case a weapon slot. And you can search for it, and you have a variety of fusion runes you can use for your specific items, in this case weapon. In my case, I will use, or I would like to use Hailstorm for my spec. It doesn't matter what it's doing right now, but you can see below here I don't have any pure rune fragments, so I am not able to craft them right now. Back to equipping runes. You can stack multiple bonuses into one item. For example, let's see, the Defiance rune. I want to equip 2 additional Defiance rune in this set. We have here an air rune. Here's an open air slot, pure Defiance rune of strike through. Equip it. And you can see here I have a second bonus on the item, and it appears again here in my character profile. And this slot is left open, and there should be a fusion rune, but I won't bother with that right now. I will equip, just for the purpose of doing it, another of these runes in there. Let's see. I will, in this case I will actually use my service token to unlock a water slot. Confirm it, and I will go with a Provoker rune of multi-hit. Provoker rune of multi-hit. Equip it, and I have 3 different bonuses on one item. This does not really make sense to have that many bonuses on one item. You will most likely end up with 1 or 2 bonuses and the additional fusion rune on one item, but that's totally up to you what you would like to make out of your gear and what secondary stats you prefer. In addition to being able to equip multiple bonuses, multiple sets on one item, we will also be able to equip the same set of runes throughout different pieces of our gear. So I can have Alleviation 6 of 6 on my blaster, as I have it right now, and I could have another Alleviation 6 of 6 on my chest piece, in my gloves, in every other piece of gear. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pieces of gear that can be runed right now, and if I want to, I could have an Alleviation rune set in every single piece of it. And the set bonuses stacks on each other. So these 1.65% critical mitigation would stack up to 7 times if I would equip the Alleviation rune sets 7 times in my gear. This way you can really exactly determine what kind of secondary stat you want to push. The exception of this rule is for the class rune sets. Every class got different rune sets. These rune sets are 2 rune sets for PvP, 2 rune sets for either tanking or healing, depending on your class, and 2 rune sets for DPS. In my case, the level 100 rune set is unbreakable, I think. Yes, it's unbreakable. And the class rune set is always unique. You can just equip 1 set of class runes throughout your gear, but you can equip every rune set, every class rune set. In my case, as I said right now, for item level 100, which is mostly of my gear, I could equip 1 set of the unbreakable runes. And the other set, my tanking set, is the Mecha Shield, but the Mecha Shield is a level 120 rune set for Datascape gear. I could potentially equip it because I have 1 piece of Datascape gear, and I could equip this set as well. But again, only 1 time, because, as said in the tooltip, the runes are unique equipped. You can have all the class rune sets you want, but each one is unique. I quickly want to cover how you can actually craft runes, and then we will hop over to the current live version of WildStar and see how you can already prepare yourself for the free-to-play version after September 29th. So, how can we craft runes? If you have chosen a rune set or a basic rune, it doesn't matter, you can choose for which level you are planning to craft them. In this case, I will again use the Alleviation rune set. I want to craft it for level 100. Level 100 is the gear level of genetic archives. Level 120 datascape, level 80 dungeons, level 50 explorations, formerly known as ship hands, and adventures. So I will craft for level 100 because it's my item level. Search for runes. We get the exceptional runes for the 2 power, and we get the normal runes for the 1 power. And when you click on a rune, you will get the needed materials shown here down below. In this case, 20 elements, in this case of earth, 10 pure rune fragments, and 1 pure set focus. And as you can see, I have the elements. I don't have the pure rune fragments or the pure set focus. This changes when you hit the normal runes for 1 power. You can see here, it changes in a way that you need still the elements, still the fragments, but just a minor pure set focus. The pure always determines the tier of the runes. In this case, level 100 are the pure runes, level 80 are the superb runes, and in this case, you don't need pure crafting materials, you need superb crafting materials. The way to obtain these is always in the correct tier of gear. So the content where you can get the gear is the same content where you can get the crafting materials for the runes. In my case, these are dropping from here, the pure ones. These are dropping from raid bosses in genetic archives. Or even trash mobs, I don't know for sure. But you can get them through raiding, and in this case, raiding genetic archives. The level 120 runes you will get for raiding Datascape or Epsilon, what is it called? The new one boss raid in hardcore mode. And the level 80 runes you can get either from dungeon or from the highest tier of contracts. Now we are on the current live version of WildStar, as you can already see by the total different look of my interface. And we are coming to the things you can actually do right now to prepare yourself for the new Rune Crafting system. First and foremost, you can do contracts. And for the actual contracts, if you choose the gear cask instead of these settlement thingies where you can get mounts and stuff, if you choose these two, one of these two, you will get a number of exceptional Protostar runic bartering fragments. Small means 3. You will always get 3. And these are these things, exceptional Protostar runic bartering fragments. And you can get them through different of the rewards. You can get them from these. You can even get them from the normal, when you see, for example, these, the contract commissions. You can even get it from these. Only by chance, of course, but you can get them. And you can collect them. And for each of these exceptional bartering fragments, you will get an exceptional rune token on the free-to-play version after September the 29th. And that, I showed you earlier, you can exchange for the 2 power runes which are needed to get the best out of your gear, to get the most set bonuses available to you. And you can do this on multiple characters. If you have multiple characters on level 50 that can do contracts, you can't trade the bartering fragments and you can't trade the rune tokens as well. But you can trade the runes. So you can have your alts trading the runes for your main character and just send it to them by mail. The next thing you can do is collecting materials. All rune crafting fragments you will have once the transition to free-to-play will get exchanged to rune crafting fragments you need for the new rune crafting system. And all your elemental signs are getting traded or exchanged for the new one. Right now we have different types. We have the normal ones, we have greater ones, we have Maya ones, and we have Elden ones. So we have 4 different quality types for each elemental that is in the game. That will change. We only have 1 quality of elemental sign, and each one of these get exchanged for a new elemental sign. So you want to collect these, you need a lot of them. And the next thing you want to do is keep your gear and don't salvage it. All the runes that are in your current gear get exchanged to rune crafting, to rune tokens, not crafting, to rune tokens in the case of normal runes. And if you already got exceptional runes in your gear, you will also get exceptional rune tokens for them. So that's it for now. Really hope I could help you with all the new stuff that will come for the rune crafting system and how you can prepare yourself right now for free-to-play once it hits the server on September the 29th. Big shout outs to Caddy, one of my guild members. She really helped me out big time with collecting all the facts about the rune crafting system and about material exchange and stuff like that. If you liked the video, please leave me a like and subscribe to my channel as well if you want to. I've been Buster, you've been wonderful, take care of yourself, bye bye.